Hey everybody, welcome back to Kiki Loves Nigeria. We are back on here, right back on here. The next day. I told y'all we were going to do that. And I'm going to try to do it as much as I can this week, okay? As much as I can, I'm going to try to get all these stories out. So look, as promised, I want to talk about this story that happened last week in the Gambia. Oh, here, sorry, I'm doing it again. Let me tell you who I am. My name is Kiki Loves Nigeria, and I am the host of the show. And what we talk about on my show, we talk about anything and everything that impacts your repatriation to West Africa. Okay? I've been asked to look into stories that have to do with East Africa. I'm trying my hardest to understand what's going on. But again, it's a little difficult when you don't understand the cultural norms of a place. Okay, so I'm trying to understand what's going on over there, so I can talk to you guys about that for the people who requested that I do those stories. So that's what I kind of do. I do stories that impact you traveling to Africa, West Africa, or in Africa, anywhere in Africa, and visiting Africa. Because again, my goal is that you go to Africa and you return safely. Okay. I don't want you to be scammed. I don't want you to be hurt. I don't want you to be any of that. So that's why I do these shows. Okay. So today we're going to talk about this robbery. There was a robbery in the Gambia this past weekend. I believe it was this past weekend. And I did a video about it, and people wanted to talk more about it. They wanted to know more about this video, about this incident that occurred in the Gambia. So I got in touch with Kwesi and I asked him, could he come on and give us a little more information about it? And he also knows Hamza, the Hamza, who passed away in the Gambia, where we talked about him last night when his sister Jinjin was on. He's also, he was also friends with him. So he said he would be willing to talk to us about that also. So I'm waiting for him to come on here. So while we're waiting for him to come on here, what we're going to do, we're going to check out the video. Okay. So I don't think I'm going to, I might use somebody else's video tonight if I can't get Quasi up here because I'm looking at the messages and he might be having some internet problems because it doesn't look like all of the messages are going through. So if we can't get him here tonight, what we'll do, we'll reschedule him for another night, probably tomorrow or one day this week, maybe early in the day, because I think he told me like after 7 the internet gets bad. But I think it's about 8 o'clock over there. So if we can't um, reach him tonight, we'll go in another direction. I have another direction that I want to go in. So just in case I end up going in that direction, I want to go ahead and introduce fair use. Okay. So fair use is just says that I can use other people's information to help educate you guys about what's going on in the Gambia. Because, like I always say, the goal of my channel is to educate you and to help inform you about the issues that are going on in in Africa. So that's what I do. And sometimes I have to use other people's videos. Sometimes I talk about things that are on other people's channels. So just in case we end up doing that tonight, I just want to let you guys know that this is fair use and I am using this just strictly to educate you guys on what's going on and to help you understand and how to move accordingly when you go to Africa. All right. So that's just in case we can't reach Kwesi because like I said, I'm looking at the messages and it's like they're not, you know how you can tell when the message is sent? Well, I can see when he receives the message and when he doesn't. So this is the video. First thing I want to do is show you the video that we were talking about, the incident that we're talking about tonight. Okay. So this is what we're going to talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. I stopped sharing it. Hold on. Let me put it back up here because some people may not know exactly what happened. So let's fill them in on what happened. And while this is playing, I'll go ahead and try to call Kwesi. Okay. Everybody, welcome back to Kiki Loves Nigeria. Hey, on this episode of Kiki Loves Nigeria, we're going to talk about a robbery in the Gambia. Yep, there was a robbery this weekend, and I was contacted by, my friend Kwesi Boyd, and he wanted to share this information with you guys to help you guys stay safe while you're traveling or repatriating to the Gambia. So let's start with the story. So Saturday, when I was getting ready for the show, I received a phone call from my friend Kwesi Boyd. And Kwesi told me he sounded really upset, y'all, for one. That was the first thing I noticed is that Kwesi is the type of dude who's always together. He never sounds upset or bothered. But when he called me, he sounded very concerned, very concerned. And he said, Kiki, the guy who lives near me and the was robbed. And I said, what do you mean he was robbed? He said, Kiki, he was robbed. And I'm thinking people, just came. I saw him on the street and they just robbed him. He said, no, these people came. He was set up. He was set up by two girls that he was dating. I guess he was, dating them. You know what I mean? Just going out with them. And the two girls called some guys to come over there. And the guys beat him up, tied him up, and beat him up until they could get his security codes for his accounts. And once they got the security codes for his accounts, they left. And thank God he was okay. They didn't kill him. Well, they didn't unalive him, but they did beat him up really, really bad. So according to Kwesi, this person is single. It's a man, and he's a repat. I suppose he's from the United States. He's in his 30s. And the sad thing about it is that Kwesi said the man has some type of speech impediment. So he thinks there's something wrong with the man, like the man has a disability. So these girls set up and robbed a man who has a disability. Yes. And what does Black Acres always say? And what does Sisters International always say? What is that cheap line they always say? Oh, it's so safe and it doesn't happen in the Gambia. This very crime that I just described to you that happened to this disabled man in the Gambia is exactly what happens in the United States every day, all day. This is a game that young people do. Young girls, they set you up and they call their little friends to come over and rob you. Yes. And thank God they didn't unalive him. So, hey, I'm going to play you these messages so you can hear it from Kwesi himself. And then you drop your comments and you tell me what you think. And again, this is not to tell you not to go to the Gambia because I'm still going. But I'm telling you to move wisely in the Gambia.
I didn't understand that.
Don't be alone, male or female. Don't be alone. Just like Kwesi said, if you're going to date those women, then you need to know her family. You need to go to her house and meet her family. If you don't go to her house and meet her family, then you know what he said? Then you don't know her and you don't know who you're dealing with. Because the first thing an African is going to do, if he really respects you, is he's going to take you home to meet his family. You got to be careful, male or female, who you dealing with, because there's bumpsters and there's bumettes, and they're all on the same page. They're all on the same page. All right, so let's listen to what Kwesi has to say. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. I'll go back.
Going somewhere and being by yourself is definitely not cool. And then especially if you're dealing with people that are shady people, people that, you guys hanging out, I don't know if he was, he getting these girls and they getting them for money and he's having sex with them and things like that. You know what I mean? You know, just like that guy you did that video over that, you know, that fell off the balcony. You know, well, I don't know where he was, in Peru or somewhere. But you know, you're going somewhere. You're by yourself. You understand what I'm saying? The same profile. You know, people by themselves, and and then being in the wrong type of crowds. You can share it, definitely share it. And a lot of time is who these guys are dealing with. This, we have a property where we rent the room and we go and work from there. So he's staying right next door, and I think he's kind of, he's a little bit slow, like the way he talk and stuff. But he's by himself from America. Yeah, I think he's like from the middle states, Wisconsin or something like that. But it was this girl he was dealing with for a few months. She has a friend with her. Then the friend goes down, open up the door, and then the guys come up in there, tie him up. You know, he's bruised. He said they almost broke his arm. You know what I mean? You know, he got knot on top of his head and things like that. It's crazy.
All right. That's all I have for y'all. That's just okay. Now we have Kwesi here. Hey, Kwesi, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? I hope you can hear me. You know how the connection is.
I know. Excuse me, but it's good. We can hear you.
Uh-oh.
How you doing?
Okay. Yeah. I'm well. I can't complain.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Were people after they watched the video about what happened, they wanted you to come and talk some more and tell us some more about the situation and about just basically what you know about what happened there.
Yeah,
And we're
I
talking.
was I was just, what was that?
We're going to talk about the robbery
The
first, and
robbery.
then Adrian after that. Okay, so after we talk about the
Okay.
robbery, we want to talk about also Hamza.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
With regards to the robbery, with regards to the robbery, as I shared earlier, I just happened to be in the apartment that is adjacent to where he is staying for a long term. It's a 12 unit. No, it's 8 units. They that are rented for short and long term for people that are coming in. And sometimes, just to get out the house and where I can go and work. I'll go out to different spots we have. But I was at this particular one, and the internet wasn't working, so I came out onto the balcony. I was talking with the guys with the internet, and then I went back. They were supposed to come back. I went back into the apartment, and 30 minutes later, I come out and I see the kid that managed the property coming out the property next door, talking to the young man I was that I was sharing about.
Hmm.
And he was like, "Hey, this guy just got robbed," and I knew the young man because we have a mutual friend, associate, so G,
Yeah. Okay.
when we had Ghana Town, actually, this guy, he actually stayed in Ghana Town when we had Ghana Town.
Hmm.
He actually, when we had the property down there, this particular guy, and he's been here and he's by himself. And when I saw him, he looked all scuffed up. He had a knot on top of his head, and he was like, "Yo," he was holding his arm. He was like, "They almost broke my arm. They almost broke my arm." And
Hmm.
I'm like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "What just happened?"
Right.
And then upon further investigation, it was found out, because Jihad came over and encouraged him to go to the authorities, in which they did.
Good.
However, upon questioning him, he shared, "Hey, it was a girl that I've known for a few months. She was here. She brought her friend over. Then after a while of them being in the house, the friend goes downstairs, opens the door, and I don't know if the guys came in at the same time that she came back up, or she came she came and sat down and acted like she didn't do anything, and then the guys came behind her. However, she opened the door. Now, the place where that I'm talking about is secure. If no one opened that door, you're safe. You
Oh,
understand what I'm saying?
yes.
Open the door, the guys come up, they come into the apartment, tie him up. They already knew what they were coming for. There was some iPhones that apparently the girl been scoping out, and a tablet, and that's what they took. And before they forced him to give them the password, to get inside of the phone.
Hmm.
Could you hear me?
Yeah. So they forced him to get. Did he say what were they doing to force him to give him the passwords?
Well, he was beat. He was beat, and they probably was in his arm. He said they almost broke his arm, so they probably had his arm in some type of lock, that was causing, stress and to him and pain to him, and to the point to where they got what they wanted, which was the codes for the phones.
Hmm. So they wanted the codes to the iPhones that were laying the other iPhones, not his iPhone.
They took them all,
Oh, they
including
took his.
his.
Oh, so they wanted the codes to all the iPhones.
Yes.
Oh, and then they took all the iPhones. Do you know? Did he say if they took anything else?
Nope. That's all they took. They came. They wanted the phones and the tablet that they took.
Hmm. So they did all that for like 4 iPhones and a tablet.
They killed Shakina over what?
Oh, they claim it was $1,000. They said it was for a
What
thousand.
was that?
They claim it was for $1,000. That's what they claim. That the little boy stole. The young man stole $1,000 from her. That's what they claim. That's what they're
The
saying.
idea is that it don't take much. It don't take
No,
much. I mean,
right.
for and it's like it's so unfortunate to have to go through something like that over a phone, and being violated. But when
Yes.
you look at the circumstances, you're like, okay, he invited these people into his house. So if you're listening to this, you're a brother or a sister, you have to be careful going into these different places because they look at us as having being I don't want to say rich, but having more than what they have.
Hmm.
It might just be an iPhone, it might be $1,000 or two, it might be a couple laptops. That's all they need.
Hmm.
However, when they have you know their intentions, when they have these intentions and they get you inside of a closed off environment, anything can happen.
Yes. Yes. And that's the thing. Anything can happen over some cell phones. Exactly.
Cell phone.
Anything can happen.
Yes. Yep.
So tell us, how would you recommend, what's the advice that you would give us to not put ourselves in that situation when we go there? Because we've been hearing so much about how safe it is to go to Gambia single, but it seems like those are the people that's really running into these problems. So how can a single person avoid, especially when you want to date? Because you they're young. This person you said was about 30. They're
Yeah.
young, they want to date, so how can they date safely? That's what they need to know. How can they not put themselves in this situation?
I wouldn't say this is a situation where the person was dating someone. You
Oh,
know, they got there's a segment, they have an underbelly here, you know what I mean, that
yes.
where it's just party, and women running around and getting with guys and spending time with them, to get a little bit of money or get high or whatever the case may be. So it's really, like I said, that type of crowd. And that crowd is always going to bring danger to it. If you're coming here and you planning that you're going down to Gambia and you're hanging out with the different girls, every weekend, and you're inviting them to the house, or you just might have a couple girls that you're dealing with, However, you always calling them over to your house. You're not trying to know their family. So that's a different dynamic than you actually dating somebody and you know their family and things like, you understand what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
So
So these are not
I
people.
wouldn't even know. I would advise someone in that situation, if you're gonna come and you're gonna be dealing with people and you don't have any long-term plans for them, you know, uh, you just have to be careful. I mean, in this case, I actually was watching this video, and this brother. It happens all the time where women set men up, but this
Yeah.
particular brother, he was on Facebook showing, he had a Rolex or two Rolexes that he was showing off, and he got, into a dealing with this young lady, and he invited her and her friend over to his house. The same thing. They had everything on the video. After a couple hours, one of the girls come downstairs and leaves the door open. They leave the broom at the door. Two guys come in there. They said they slipped this guy something as well, because you know when the guys came in the house, he was in the bed. So one of the guys had a knife and stabbed him. So this guy, he runs down just to make sure they're gone in his lobby, and he's butt naked. You understand what I'm saying? And then
Yes.
he uh I forget what I'll send that link over to you.
Hmm.
But in any case, it's you bringing people inside of your house, and that's an intimate, private place. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
And if you're bringing people into your house, you have better. Like me, I wouldn't invite many people into my house. From in my experience, I wouldn't invite many people over to my house, and all of my like I'm married here. I was married since I moved here, so I was in an environment where I was dealing with these type of women. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just have integrity, and come and do the right thing, and because you'll always be a victim. I mean, I don't even want to suggest, hey, if just take them to a hotel, because the same thing could happen. You can be in a hotel and they can call some guys, hey, this guy, we done slipped him, son, he's passed out. Let's come and get him.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So, what
right?
about when they go
Hmm.
down to Senegambia? What about going down to Senegambia? Because I'm sure they hear all about the Senegambia Strip. What about when they go down there and they meet people down there and they meet young ladies down there? What about how do you handle
You
situations like
know, if someone's coming and they're going out to these different areas and things like that, you know, I think it's more safe than I would say in the States. Like, you can come, you go down and mingle and meet people, and those type of things, down in that region, in that area there, because that's the main area, all the clubs and stuff down there. So you can go down there and mingle and things like that. However, these aren't the type of women you want to bring home to mama, in most of the cases, so as we see in this situation right here, a lot of the women here, they are, uh, they will set you up. They will set you up. There's that class, and it's not all of them. This is a Muslim, society. If you're dealing with Muslim, it's going to be different from dealing with someone, because you have people who are Muslim, that's hijab. Let's say, for instance, that wear hijab, right?
mm-hmm,
That cover their head, and then
mm-hmm,
you have other sisters who don't cover their head. You understand
right,
what I mean? So,
right,
sisters, the ones that cover their hair and have modesty and show modesty, they're different from the ones that don't. The ones that don't, they're more worldly.
mm-hmm,
Okay,
mm-hmm,
so I know, they used to tell me, hey, if you're going to get a wife, those are the type, that's the type you want to marry, because the other ones, they're being more influenced by the West. So that's about money.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, yep.
So
That's
let's
about
go.
money. So
Let's look at some of the comments before we get too many, because people had questions about this, and I thought it would be good to have you come answer the questions because you know more than I do. It says, "Home is he an American?" Yes, the guy is an American. He's from America. He's from
yeah,
Kwesi said he's from the Midwest. And for Black
yeah.
says, not now because he ain't coming on live. Okay, we lost Kwesi, but he'll be back. So I guess she's talking about the dude. Home, the victim won't talk. Um, well, the victim did talk. He talked through Kwesi, but he doesn't want to come on here and talk on the live program. He doesn't have an interest in doing that. I asked Quasi, people were asking, would he come on and talk to us? And Quasi said the guy is he's an introvert and he doesn't want to come on here and talk. And some people don't want that. And that's what I was explaining, that some people, Quasi, they were wanting the guy to come on here and talk. Okay, so here it is. For Black says she wished the guy would come on here and talk too. But the guy, like I said, I was explaining to them that you told me the guy doesn't want to come on here and talk, and some people don't like to be in front of the camera, and some people are introverts, and you were explaining that this guy's an introvert. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and explain why the guy does not want to come on YouTube and tell what happened.
Well, a lot of people just don't want the attention. They don't want to be on YouTube. And as I said, we are trying to encourage him to press charges on the young lady that came to his house. So if he don't want to, you know, uh, press charges on her, right? Then he definitely don't want to bring it to the attention of everybody. He's just kind of trying to brush it under the rug.
Hmm.
He want to be discreet with it. He's gonna take it as an L. However, I'm telling him, hey, listen, first of all, they might come back and target you again. Hey, this guy, we robbed him before. He's not gonna say nothing. Let's go back and rob him again.
Hmm.
Or we might get a reputation for ourselves, like, hey, Americans, they sweet Vicks.
Yeah.
You can get them, and they're not going to call or press charges on you. So we want to send a message that, hey, listen, we're going to pursue you to the fullest extent of the law if you
Right.
rob one of our people or you do something to one of our people. We have
Right.
to do it. There's been too many people that have came in Gambia and caused too much destruction and disturbance without repercussions,
Hmm.
and it just made us real weak and real vulnerable
Right. Or appear that
for
way.
the people that are seeing. And for yeah, for the people, if we were stronger here, then we wouldn't have to have so many beware signs,
Yes.
because you will be able to come into an environment. Did your screen pause?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
I,
It
I
did.
I like to use Elvin as an example because Elvin is a model repat. When he came over and he stayed, he didn't have to worry about anything because we had a whole team of people there. He waited a whole year before he left out of the house, but he stayed in the house. He got his meals. We were doing meals maybe 4 or 5 days out of the week. Anything he needed, if he needed to go get a cell phone or if he needed to get land or he needed to go somewhere, we had people right there in house.
Right.
He didn't have to worry about internet, AC, because we prepared a way for him and others. Because the room that Elvin stayed in for a year is the same room that Miss Beverly stayed in for the 2 months that she stayed at our property, the one that you came to.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
yep. So when you can come into a country and it's like, we have a brotherhood, a sisterhood or whatever, and it's like my sister is coming here. She's not gonna have to worry about anything. Hey, you're gonna come to my house, it's no question about it. You're gonna stay at my house, we're gonna take care of you. The same way we did for Phoenix and Art and and the other individuals that came to stay, Beverly, Elvin, it was that type of a situation as a community, so we want to be able to do the same thing, but people have to be willing to listen. A lot of people want to do their own thing because they don't want to be seen in what they're doing. A lot of people are coming to play around and have fun, but there's so they don't want you to see their activities, so they want to do that and be discreet and do that. However, that does come with a degree of risk.
Yes. Yes, and this is what we're talking about. This is one of the risks. This is one of the big risks when, like you said, when you go over there and play around like that. So this is something else for Black wanted to know. That she said, are Americans becoming easier targets in the Gambia?
As I was sharing years ago, I think that we expose ourselves when we show disunity. Okay, so when we came over and we really didn't show a strong, a desire, a willingness to work together as a collective, not only did we not show that, we displayed absolute contempt for our unification and what we're supposed to be doing here.
Hmm.
And in the midst of that, you have all the people who are opportunists, right? People here are, when it's about money, you're going to have corruption. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
And when you have poverty, you're going to have corruption. So
Right.
the people, let's say you coming into the country, there's always people who are, the middleman, like, people that are waiting to help you along your journey and things. So once we start acting the fool, they start talking amongst themselves. Hey, these people, man, oh, these people are drama, these people are crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So then
Yes.
there you have justification now.
Yes.
Justification when they were already inclined towards gray area dealings, right? And
Yes.
dealings without contract and dealing without just having it integrity. So
Yes.
now it's like, okay, now I have a reason to overcharge them. Now
Right.
I have a reason not to follow through on my commitment because they're
Right.
bad people. You you,
Yes.
you
Yes.
understand what I'm
I see.
saying?
Yes.
Right,
Yes. So and it's
right.
okay. I get it.
Mhm.
So when we act like
And
that,
and then
okay,
because remember when everything was going on, there was a lot of exploitation of the repass that was coming into the country by the ones that
right?
was here already. So
Mhm.
they're seeing this as well. Oh, if this person gonna lie and rip off their own people, you wanna we might as well beat them to the punch or join into it if I have this guy is going to double charge this person for this property,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
That's what was happening to a lot of people when they was getting coming in. They were being overcharged for businesses, rentals, and as well as properties and things like that. And
Yeah.
it was being done by these repat agents from the UK, and like these real estate agents that and these land agents. So
Mhm.
being that like I said, we're in an environment where we're supposed to be like a tribe, right?
Right.
But so we're in this environment, there's other tribes, so there's natural competition. So they're saying, hey, this tribe right here, this is a weaker tribe, so let's overwhelm them.
Yes. Yes. So here's another question that says, if it was excuse me, if it was pay for play, then that explains why he doesn't want to press charges. Africa is not a safe place for Black Americans to do that. Everyone knows there's little to no protection in Africa. So, do you think it was a case of pay to play? Is that what you think was going on?
What was that?
I said, do you think it was a case of what she said? Do you think it was a case of this guy just playing around with these girls and giving them money?
Yes, I mean, what happens is if you have money and you have resources, I think you froze up on me, Kiki.
I'm here. Go ahead.
I think that plays a part in it. Yeah, it's a girl, you know what I mean, that he met from around Senegambia. And the only reason why I'm sharing all this because I want people just to understand that, it's not the person like you or myself that's coming over. It's people that are in most of the cases in environments that are highly questionable. They're in environments where they're saying, hey,
Exactly.
like I was in a bad environment before.
Yes.
I was around the wrong people, a bunch of them. And
Exactly.
prior to that, I was around Gambians, which was a good environment. Then, once I opened my house up to let our people come in, it became a toxic, bad environment.
Yes.
And then once those people were gone, then I went back to a good environment. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so that's what it is. It's really about the company that you keep.
Exactly. So for Black has
Hmm.
another question. She says that she's saying, well, she's making a statement, and I wanted to know if you agree with this, that she's telling someone that there's no protection for us in Africa. Do you agree with that statement that there's no protection for us in Africa?
Repeat that one more time.
She she's saying that she's telling someone that there's no protection for us in Africa. Now, I'm wondering if you agree, since you live there, um, do you believe that there's no protection for us in the Gambia?
The only protection that we have is adopting the culture.
Mhm.
Okay, there's no protection as a Black American or Black British. You understand what I'm saying? There's no protection in that individualistic mentality, that superior mentality,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You don't have any protection because you're by yourself, and then
Yes.
you're ruffling a lot of feathers.
Yes.
You're in an environment, and you're very, very abrasive in an environment, and there's already uh if you can come in and remove all of your Western ideology for a lot. That's why Muslims do good with integrating into the and not having problems, because
Right.
that's the part of where they can identify and integrate into the culture. Someone that's straight from Atlanta, or someone that's straight from New York or Chicago or something like this,
Uh-huh.
and they don't have any foundation in Islam, and they just coming, you know, uh, 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 even without a cultural sense and a cultural appreciation. You understand what I mean? It's
Yes.
like, they come over here and then they look down on the culture. You
Yes.
know what I mean? I can remember when I first came into Senegal, and I was driving from Senegal to the Gambia. We're going to a rural area, and we stopped at this big market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a lot of the elderly women. They were sitting down and they were selling seasonings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were sitting on the ground. And I was looking. Could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
And I was like, this is someone will come here and they will look at the situation and say, these people are primitive. It probably looked like this 100 or 200 years ago, right?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Uh, Even in Banjul, when you walk through and then you see the people and you interact with them, right?
Yes. Yes.
Coming from a place like New York City, you could easily have a sense of arrogance about your self. You
Yes.
understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, However, when you're humble, you're able to see that these people still have their culture. You know what I mean? They still have love for one another. When they eat and sit down and eat, they eat together. That's a big thing. We can't even tolerate each other long enough to sit down at a table together. Everybody want to get their food to go. Give me it to go, bag, doggy bag. I'll see you later. And that'd be daddy most of the time,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But so our only safety net, our only safety is, coming in, respecting the culture,
Yes.
for one, respecting the culture and respecting one another, because we can't come and be a part of the problem.
No. No. And
Respecting one another as repats.
mhm. And I want to add to that, just from my times that I've been to, to Cameroon, to Nigeria, and now to the Gambia. And I would have to agree with that, that if you put yourself, you kind of follow the rules of the culture and don't move in ways that you shouldn't move, you won't find yourself in these situations. If you're not moving around with different people or with strange people or going to places as a single person, you're not going to run in. I'm not going to say you're not, but more than likely, you're not going to run into these problems. Okay. So you have to understand, for Black, that there's different types of people who go to Africa and they move differently. These women that I talk about on my channel, they didn't understand the culture. They didn't understand the moves over there. They didn't understand any of that. And that's why I talk about that, because I want them to understand this is what goes. The only one who might have understood was Matu. That was it. But all the other ones, they didn't understand. They couldn't have understood, especially Veronica and Anja, because if they understood, they wouldn't put themselves in the situation they were in. Audrey clearly didn't understand. She clearly didn't understand that if the mother, whatever the mother says, goes. She clearly didn't understand the role of the mother in the culture. So it's so important that before you go to Africa, that you understand the culture that you're getting involved in. Because it's like Dinah says, when something happens to you, what are you going to do? Then you blame the culture. Then you say, oh, it's Africa's fault. Oh, Africa did that. No, when it was all your fault, because you didn't prepare yourself. We have to hold ourselves accountable and start moving differently. And that's the whole
Yep.
purpose of all of this. That's the purpose of
Yes.
all of this.
That like I said, I spoke about it before, years ago, and in terms of problems, the problems that we would have, if we continue to move forward, in a disorganized way. And and the crazy thing is that yeah, Kiki, you back?
No, it was you. Yeah, we here. Keep going. It's okay. Keep going.
Yeah, Kiki.
Yeah, we can hear you. Oh yeah, he probably getting ready to go off. You there, Kwesi? But yeah, that's really
Hold
important.
on, could you
Okay,
hear
go
me?
Kwesi. No, we didn't hear you. Now say what you were gonna say. Say what you were saying. It froze up. No, it's freezing again. We can't hear you.
Hey, could you hear me?
Yes. Okay, go now. Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. If we keep on having problems, I try to switch over to my other internet, but I'll see if I can hop on the hotspot so that we can so that you can hear me clearly. I just want to make sure we get the proper value out of this this meeting here. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so the idea is, nowhere that we go in the world is going to be safe for us, because the world is not a safe place. Uh, it's more safer here than it is in the States. However, you know, if first of all, if you're going to look for trouble, you're going to find
Yeah,
it.
find it. Yeah, you are.
And we can't come with this hard, abrasive, white supremacist mentality, wrapped up into broken black people. We looking absolutely foolish, absolutely crazy, and that's a part of our who we are, our that's a part of our culture, our emotional intelligence. That's what I wanted to share. However, there are those that are of sober and sound mind for the most part, you know uh and this whole money, how things are being done, uh, anytime money and fame get involved, it corrupt even the most honest of people. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we have to do things as a collective, and as far as a collective movement, if we're going to be moving and we're going to be investing our money, it have to be into communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
That actually say what they, you know, actually do what they say they're going to do. Because a lot of
Yeah,
people were buying into Black Sick. They were buying into the, bag, thinking that we could actually, benefit from the audience that they were blessed to have.
mm-hmm.
This movement and everything that happened, it don't belong to one person. It don't
Right.
belong to one brand. It's all of us working together. That's why nothing could ever get done, because the ones that were blessed to be the mouthpiece or the ambassadors, you know, uh, they they wanted to have a monopoly on things and had brick and mortar aspirations.
Yes.
They couldn't see where other people fit in, that had a lot more to offer and a lot more going on than they had, as
Exactly.
far as business and skills and things.
Yes.
So however, uh, the small group of us that do understand, because there's a lot of people that's making major impacts here, that have projects going on different parts of Africa where they're
Mm-hmm.
making things happen. But what I would like to see with those projects is that more of the money is distributed as far as community. I know
Yeah.
quite a few people that have projects going on that are making huge amounts of money for themselves. That's nice, but we want to be able to uh, enrich and empower other people as well.
Okay. So look, this comment says when we talked about the a lot of the women that were unalived that I had talked about on my channel, that Matu was the only one who really understood the culture, and someone said yes, she understood because she was African, and that's true. She was from Sierra Leone, so she did understand the culture. So let's go through these comments again. So this,
Hey, let me just say something about a lot of these people, even though they're even someone that's from Sierra Leone and that could be from Africa, they
yes,
could act just like being from the West or even
yes,
worse.
hmm,
Okay.
that's true.
I don't know if I talked to you, because like, I know at least three of them personally, of the ones that's passed. And, you know, uh, I brought the people that work with me, I brought them to this particular establishment. I'm not going to go into it. However, and it's one of the people that passed away.
Uh huh.
And she was very, when I walked out of there, I said, I would never bring my people around Americans again. Right.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
thought she was American, but she wasn't.
Yep.
I thought she was American, but she wasn't.
Hmm. She was
But when I left out of there,
Africa.
huh?
The lady was from Africa.
She was from Sierra Leone.
Oh, she was from Sierra Leone also. Oh, okay. Wow, really? That's
Hmm.
wild.
She was from Sierra Leone. I went in her business. It was right down the street from my house. And then after that interaction,
Hmm.
I was like, "Hey, I'm not going to bring my people around because they don't respect the culture." And that was, that was since Juliet, the main advocate of coming to Africa, was someone that didn't respect the culture,
Hmm.
didn't respect the people, looked down on them.
Now
We all
listen.
see that now. It all came out now.
Now listen to this comment. Somebody says this. Black Americans will never fit into the culture in Gambia. It's impossible. Impossible. because they want things to be like America. Go for a holiday and go back home. So she's saying when we go to Gambia, we're having trouble because we want it to be like America. And she's telling us we need to understand that we need to go there for the holiday, enjoy Gambia for what it is, and then go back home. So, what do you have to say about that? Do you think that's our thinking? Is that's the
A
thinking
couple,
that we have?
you know, as a Black American, right? As a Black American, I don't consider myself a Black American. I consider myself a black man from America. So that's different. So when you come and you're a Black American and you representing all of these American values, the same values that have destroyed us as a people, then of course, because you want to be in the big house. You understand? You like, hey, like when we had a lot of that early drama, they were saying, hey, the house they didn't have an AC in one of the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
That's $120 issue, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't have an AC, or the power went out. All of that stuff is inherent here in Africa, and and you coming from America, if you have that mindset where, because you can live very comfortably here, you can live more comfortable, but you have to have, put things in place. You just have to have solar, which everyone needs anyway. We should all be looking to get off of, the grid,
Right. Well,
right?
look
So
at go ahead, Kwesi.
what's that?
Uh, look at this one.
White folks don't respect the culture there. Listen, the white people here, they are cooler than the Black people. You understand what I'm saying? Don't run around thinking just because somebody Black, they're your brother or your sister. We've already seen all of that. The
Okay.
white women here and the white people here, they're not giving up no type of problems. Here and there, you might have someone, because I had my issues years ago with the British man. You might find a right. Of course, there are people from British, but for the most part, I was at a few weeks ago. Is this resort, Lemon Creek, right? I
Mm-hmm.
was there. I was taking some pictures, and there was nobody there, but they said it was fully occupied, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, then where are all the people at?
Right.
And it was like most of them have businesses, projects, or families here in the Gambia. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's ridiculous. Where you have a whole resort that's booked up, but everybody in the resort actually have some type of economic or personal ties to the country. That's what we're supposed to be doing. It's
Right.
not a resort. It's an economic community, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
They just use that resort there as a springboard for when they're in the country, doing their business or whatever.
Right. And then when
And
they
it's 90% Dutch, British people,
mm-hmm.
you know people from Spain,
Right.
right? Yep.
So
Indians.
this one part is the part that people keep saying that the European people aren't coming up unalived. But how do we know that? Unless somebody's really looked into it, we shouldn't say that because we don't know. We don't know.
Well,
So
it would be
we
on
can't
what
say.
it would be on what's on Gambia. It's something to look out for. Well, in my experience, as I see the white women, around, and white women are known just to be quiet and humble. You know what I mean? So they're blending in. They're blending in. They're just coming. They're minding their business, and they have their husbands here that they take care of. They might be coming and going back and forth. Even the white guys, they call them seasonals. They come back and forth, but they're not here being a being a problem into bringing problems into the country, bringing drama and you know and not having it, like I said, with this YouTube and this YouTube community, I think that everything, you probably have white people here doing corrupt stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
they're not on YouTube and they're putting it all over the YouTube. And I think for the most part, they have good, and the ones that are coming have good intentions in the country.
Okay. So, um, okay, everybody, we need to get the conversation back focused. It's not about Black Americans being accepted in the Gambia. It's about this man was robbed and he was tied up and he was beaten and his phones were taken and a tablet. We need to talk about that. That's what Quasi's on here to talk about, not this other stuff. So, okay, let's get the conversation back to that. Okay, so sitting on the floor to eat is a ridiculous. Now, see, we're not on here to talk about the Gambian culture, okay, or the Middle Eastern culture. I'm not going to talk about that. If you think that, then that's your opinion, okay. But I'm not going to entertain that because that's not what we're here to talk about. So let's see what this next one is. Um, um, okay, again, it's not about that. We're talking about how to stay safe in the Gambia. We're talking about how not to be set up, not to be robbed in the Gambia. And the first thing you got to do is move differently than how you move in the United States, people. Okay? First thing you got to do is if you want to go down to Senegambia and you want to have a nightlife, it's best to go with a group. Okay? Don't go with just some friends. Don't go by yourself because that's dangerous. Because you're going to meet somebody nice. I'm sure you are. But you don't know if that person is setting you up. And that's the problem. That becomes the problem. You don't know anything about that person. So you meet this person, and then somebody told me that these girls are now putting this, I forget what you call it, but it starts with the S. And it makes you, it's like a date drug that make you out of it. Excuse me. That these girls in the Gambia are now doing that also. Okay, people, that's what we're talking about. That is extremely important. That is extremely important because they were thinking it was okay for them to go to Gambia. It was okay for them to go to Africa. It was okay for them to do whatever they wanted to do and not follow these cultural norms which say you can't just run around with women because if you run around with women, you're going to get in trouble. They're not following those norms. And we're on here to tell you don't do that. We're on here to tell you what to do, not debate whether Black people can fit into the culture in Africa. That is not. Stay focused, people. Stay focused.
It's like the same thing, like with the brothers wanting to go down to South America and Central America, to these Spanish countries. I think we all go through those phases,
Yes.
because that's what they tell us on TV. Hey, this is where you want to be. You want to, these Spanish women, and you want to, they're so beautiful and things like that. And, that's where we should be, putting our focus. And when you go down there, they not feeling, they're not feeling us like that because the culture is so thick. And most of the time when we go there, we're not going to get into the families that are, that have strong, cultural backgrounds, because they're going to say, hey, we don't want you marrying our daughter. We don't want you marrying our son. So you always get the ones that's on the edge of society and things like that, that, that's going to put some, date rape drug in your drink. And when you wake up, you're going to be, butt naked and passport and everything going to be gone.
Yes.
You,
If you
you
wake
understand
up.
what I mean?
If you wake up. And that's
Some people can't make that transition. However, like I said, you just can't go into the country by yourself and think you're gonna meet some girls online, or you're gonna meet some girls
yeah.
down at the bar, in the club area, and just, they're gonna befriend you, and you're gonna take them. They hang out in the club. They're getting drunk every weekend. They're getting high every weekend, and they're always chasing. They're around other men all the time.
Yes. Yes. So let's read this one. This one says, yes, solicitation is always dangerous. People feel like they are being taken advantage of, so they'll take advantage of the solicitor. Prostitutes do that a lot. And that seems to be the thinking in these tourism places where people go to meet these women. Okay, even in Colombia, it seems to be the thinking that you have money, you're down here paying all this money to take us out because they go to these expensive places. They take them to Senegambia is not like it's more expensive than the rest of the Gambia. It's a tourist place. So you got to know everything over there is expensive. And that's where you're meeting them. So you're spending money and they're paying attention to how much money you have. Okay. So they're watching that. And their whole mission is how am I going to get this money from this dude? How am I going to get it from him? So I can put something in your drink. I can make you think, oh, we're going to just have a great time. Oh, I'll go back to your place. And you're thinking, oh, this is Africa. What can happen? She's African. What can she do? It's Africa. They don't think like that. This isn't a black American girl. She's not going to do that. And then all along, you don't know what she's going to do. You don't know what she's going to do. But we see they're doing exactly what they're doing in Colombia. But we have to be aware about it and ready to fix it. We only thing we can really fix is ourselves. You can't go to somebody else's country and fix anything. You can fix how you behave. You can fix the women that you talk to. You can fix the men that you talk to. When you go down there, we can fix that stuff. But can we go down there and fix what actually goes on down there? No, we cannot. Quasi's back. No, we cannot. And that's what we got to always be aware of. We can't change somebody else's country, but we can change the way we move and the way we act in that country. Okay, go ahead, Quasi.
Okay, what was that now?
They were talking about changing things. When you go to places like that, you have to change things. But I'm telling them, no, we have to change ourselves. We can't go and expect that environment to change for us. We have to change the way we move in those environments. So that's what we were talking about. I'm just really still going through the questions.
Okay,
All right.
hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Okay. Africa is still having a lot to be fixed, guys, there. And will still be some other storms coming up. Yes, it will. It's developing. And when it's developing, those are developing nations. Of course they're gonna have that. Gambians look at us. How do you know that? Humble student. And you're a student. You should know you can't generalize like that. You're gonna say all the Gambians? Really? Look at us the way Afrodamus does. So all the Gambians are on the same level as educational status, socioeconomic status as Afrodamus. And they all think and move the way Afrodamus. Wow. No, I don't agree with that at all. Kiki, but culture is a part of why people are becoming victims. Exactly. It is. When they start seeing that they are seen to African as different due to their culture, they're to be on more alert. And that's what we're trying to talk about. But we're not comparing the cultures. People are on here. The questions we can't entertain tonight is comparing the cultures.
Yeah,
We
could
can't
you can
compare
hear
the
me?
cultures. Yes. So I'm trying to explain to this person, culture is important, and that's what we're telling you how to move in this culture. But this show is not about Black Americans not being able to fit into African culture. That is not what we're talking about tonight. We can talk about that on another night if you want to, but let's stay focused. I like to stay focused, okay? So let's stay focused. So what they're saying now is they see us as different, that's what makes us a victim, that when we're seen as different. Quasi, do you want to respond to that?
Okay, could you hear me?
Yes. Yes, that's the drama.
Okay, so pretty much, going into a country that you're not familiar with, you want to take every precaution to make sure that you know who you're dealing with. And so if you're going into the country, like someone that's going into a country and looking to experience the nightlife will be at greater risk than someone that's going into a country looking, to adapt, looking for cultural adaptation. Okay, right. The two can tie in. I see what she's saying in terms of just understanding and just adapting to the culture, but that we're gonna let that be a bullet point for safety. You
Hmm.
know, so that's one of the things you just want to, like I said, if you're going into the culture, if you're going there for sex tourism, you're going to be subject to all of the vices and everything that takes place in that type of a market.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you can actually absolutely be safe in that type of market. You understand what I'm saying? I will say this. You know, there's certain countries here where people are, like, Gambia is different from Sierra Leone. It's different from Liberia. You know, people coming from those countries are in the country as well. So I mean, we don't even know if the girls that this guy was with, if they were Gambians.
Right.
They could have been
That's
from
true.
Sierra Leone. They could be
Hmm.
from Liberia. They could be from Nigeria.
Yes.
And they have a lot going on. They have a lot going on,
Hmm.
and so I mean, I wouldn't put myself in those type of environments. I actually met this guy the other day. He was from Sierra Leone, and he was trying to befriend me and things like that. And I was like, you know, that's cool, but I'm not gonna go and hang out with him. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
uh, Especially what happened with Shakina. He probably like, hey, I got this American dude, man. He's gonna come out. Those type of things going inside your head. But if I think for the most part, it's safe for people. I don't want people to feel and be scared. I think it's more dangerous in New York. I think it's more dangerous in Atlanta. I think it's more dangerous in Chicago for our people. Um, However, as the facts show, that it can be dangerous over here, and we can be victimized over here as well.
Yeah, that's true. You can be a victim anywhere. It's just you have to be careful and you got to stay prayed up. So there's nothing wrong with Black Americans owning. Oh, we're not going to get into that. That's what I mean, y'all. Okay, so y'all having your own conversation. Uh, I am. I have to sit this one out before I call this. Okay, okay. Chat lives matter. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Thank you for coming by. Okay. Uh, there are they are so busy messing with Gambian children with, so they're not all good. Okay. Oh, they're talking about the Europeans when they made that statement. Okay. It's not worth me changing. She says it's not worth me changing self for American culture. I pass because I'm okay. I'm being okay. She says she's okay being me. All right. Let's see if there's any more.
Okay, it's not worth me changing self for African culture.
Mhm. Is that what she said? Is that what it said?
Right. You
Oh, let
know,
me go back to that then.
you know, if you want to change, right?
Hmm.
When you accept the culture, it's not that you're accepting a
Changing yourself.
particular.
Hmm. Go ahead,
Hey,
Kwesi.
okay, this whole Black American identity that haven't been working for us. We should be trying to run away from that Black American identity because it's associated with being, you know, uh, having the most violent youth, having the most promiscuous women, You know, the black woman, the value of the black woman, she's at the bottom of the totem pole. You know, I think they said her, she's worth, a black woman's worth less than $5 or something like that
Wow, for
when they
real?
average it out, right? You, we have so much
That's
power and we have so much to offer, but we are not using our heads at all. You know, we're spending over $1 trillion a year and own nothing. We're, so this is not an identity that we should want to hold on to. You know, a black American, where do that come from anyway? You understand what I'm saying? That, these ideas that they give us as far as our identity and things like that. I'm just going for a black. I want to be. I'd rather just be a black man because there's black men everywhere. So if I say, okay, like if someone's from New York, they have a particular swag. They're from Atlanta, they're holding on to that identity. They're from Cali, Sierra Leone, Senegal, Ghana. All of this nationalism, all of these smaller identities that take away from who we are as a people. We can have these smaller identities, but as long as we know who we are at the core, and as long as we know who we are in terms of our unifying factor as far as being black. If being American mean that I have to be arrogant and I have to come over to the country and I have to be like, oh, all Africans think, you understand, and have that type of man, or this is, have those type of mentality, right? Then that's a problem. You shouldn't even be looking to come over here, but because that's associated with the black American.
mm,
We seen the black American community here, how they've been acting. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe we should try to, open our horizons to, identifying with the core. Like when you come over, you don't have to adopt Fuller culture. You don't have to adopt Jola or Mandinka culture. Or you have to adopt the humanity that's within the culture.
mhm.
Okay,
That humility in the culture.
adopt the brotherhood, adopt the sisterhood that's within the culture. That's what we're going after, not these particular identities.
And I just want to add to that, to embrace the identity. I mean, let me make sure I understand this.
Hmm?
I'm making sure I respond correctly to this question. It's not about change. I don't consider that I changed myself when I go to Africa. When I go to Cameroon, I don't change the essence of who I am. I just I humble myself. I humble myself so I can be open to learn. I go there not no like here. Okay, I know stuff about my culture. I know who I am. I'm different. I move differently. But when I go to Africa and I'm in a new culture and I'm in somebody else's house, it's just like I always say. It's like going to somebody else's house. You have to humble yourself when you get to that person's house. It's not about changing who you are. It's about respecting who they are. It's about respecting their social norms. It's about, okay, these are my social norms, but I'm not at my house anymore. I'm at somebody else's house and I chose to come to that house. So I need to follow those rules and I need to follow those social norms. And especially in Africa, because if you don't, you're going to get yourself in trouble. You're going to get yourself in trouble. And I've reported time and time and time again. And not one time have I said, you have to change who you are. I've never said that. I said, you have to change the way you move. Change the way you move. And that's completely different than changing the essence of who you are. So I hope that clears it up for you. Because I would hate for you to think that you have to change who you are to go to Africa. All right, so let's go back up here because there's some comments in the bottom. Chat live says, when your ancestors have robbed the world in general and purposely undeveloped Africa in particular, you can be cool. You can be cool. Chat live matter. What are you talking about? But you left. Is that what you said you left? Is that what you got upset about?
What's
Okay.
that?
I'm trying to figure out. I asked her, is that what she got upset about? So let's go back down here and get the rest of these. And then I know I'm not going to hold you long because I know you got it's Ramadan. So we're going to Do you guys got any more questions about the robbery in the Gambia or ways that you can keep safe in the Gambia? Kiki is exactly right about respecting. Yes. And if I don't like the rules to your house, I'm not going to tell you in your house. I'm going to wait till I get out your house and I'm going to say, I ain't going back over there. They ain't got to ever worry about me. But I'm not going to do that in your face. Why would I do that? That's rude and that's disrespectful. And that'll make somebody want to fight you. Some people will want to fight you. And see, that's what's happening to these people. People want to fight them. You done came to my country. You done talked about my country. You done did this, that, and the third over there. And you think we just going to let you get away with that? Would we let them get away with that? Would we let somebody, with these people who live in the hood and live by the hood rules, would they let somebody come to the hood and disrespect and get away with that? No, they wouldn't. No, they would not. And you know that. And we know they would not. So we need to quit acting like it's different. The negative things going on in Black American culture is usually from the negative tip. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Like Art Kathy, LLL, I heard she got slapped. Oh, that was so long ago. I don't even know if that was true, but I don't know. Somebody said it. Respect the culture, learn the language, travel in groups, keep your streets. Thank you. This is how you travel to Africa wisely and safely and have a great time because I have a great time every time I go. And then you come back safely.
Yeah.
Exactly. Go ahead, Crazy. We want to get all these comments about this robbery and then we're going to move on to Hamza so you can rest.
What was that? Yeah, I
We're,
wanted I wanted to talk a little bit about the brother Andre.
yes, that's
Did
what
you
I'm
get the video I sent over to you?
saying. No. Where'd you send it? Just now? How'd you send it? Did you email it or did you messenger? Which way did you send it to me? How did you send it to me, Kwesi? Did you email it or did you send it through Messenger? Let me check the email. Okay, let me check that. Of course, we're going to talk about Hamza. Okay. No, I didn't get the email.
No, no, I sent it to you. I sent it to you a while ago when I said I was
No, when we talked.
Facebook. I sent it over to you. I thought you saw that one.
No, you said you were going to send me a video, but you didn't send it.
I sent it through Messenger. I sent the video over.
Okay, let me look again. Cause
I
I look
sent the link through
the messenger. Okay, there was a video that he had of Hamza, and he wanted you guys to see that video, but I don't think I got that link. You know how this internet stuff go? It'll tell you sent it, and let me go down here. No, I don't see the link, y'all. So when he comes back on, we're gonna talk about Adrian. His name's Adrian. We're gonna talk about Adrian Hamza. Okay, we're gonna talk about him. No, I didn't get the link. I didn't get it. Wait a minute, is this it? No, this is not it. No, I didn't get that link, you guys. So when he comes back on, I'll ask him, can he send it? Can he send it to me again? No, that's about Shakina. So I'll ask him, can he send it to me again because I didn't get that link. So we're gonna no, no. Okay, let me look and see if y'all got any more questions about this robbery and how to stay safe. I'm done. Mr. Kwesi is right. No matter how much we want to pretend, it's not. It's not what most promiscuous women. I've never heard of that. The most. I'm sorry. I don't know. what the comments were, y'all, because we've passed it. Uh, I think Quasi's back. Okay. Okay, Quasi. I'm sorry. I can't find it. I don't have it. Maybe I didn't get it for some reason.
Okay, I'll send it
But
back
when you,
over
if
to
you
you.
send,
That
yes,
that
and
was
then
a
I'll
whole
make a
video.
video. Well, I'll
Huh?
make a video. I'll make a video about it and share it with people. So
Let's
go
see.
ahead.
Yeah, let's see the conversation that I was having with him at that time.
Yeah. So go ahead and tell us about Adrian Hamza. Okay. Go ahead
About
and
what?
start about Hamza, Adrian. What you want to say us
Oh
about?
yeah, yeah.
Tell us about him.
It, well, I didn't hear much about his death. I started watching your video the other day. However, the video that we did, well, we didn't do the video that you showed when he was doing that message for Blacksit. I was with Blacksit. That's when we first started around that time. But you can see how much healthier he was at that time. I know a lot
Mhm.
of people. He was only here just a couple years. He wasn't here like 4 or 5 years. Because around that time when everything, around 2000, 2001, he wasn't in the country yet. I think he came, not 2000, what I'm talking about, 2022,
Mhm.
right? In 2021, he wasn't in the country at that time. But yeah, in those that video that he did, he looked very healthy. But when I was seeing him, I don't know, it could have been from him not taking care of himself, like they were saying. But he definitely he looked sick. You
Yeah.
understand? He definitely looked like he could have possibly been sick, and I wouldn't say that it was just from him being dehydrated or not eating. It looked like he could have possibly had some type of illness. Because
Mhm.
that's what I was saying the last time. I was like, damn, Andre, he looked pretty sick, man. You know,
And when was the last
where
time
were
you
you
saw
able
him?
to find that?
Do you remember the last time you
I
saw
saw
him?
him. I saw him. It had to be like I say about 3 months ago inside King's restaurant. We were sitting there, and I ended up talking to him. I met someone there, and I seen him there.
Mhm.
Him and he had a roommate for a while. I don't know if he had a roommate at the time he died, but another brother from the UK.
Oh, he had a roommate. Oh, I don't wonder if
At
his
one
sister
at
did
one
that.
point in time.
What do you remember? Do you know who
Hmm.
the roommate was?
I don't know his name, but I know his face.
Cause see, his sister came on the show last night. His sister's name is Jin Jin, and Jin Jin is trying to find out what happened to him. She said she just found out Thursday about his passing, and there was a lady who came on. One of his friends, her name was Mbassi, and Mbassi. I think that's how you pronounce it. She's a Gambian lady, and her husband and him are friends. She said he moved from that apartment that you're talking about. I believe it was an apartment, and he lives in Dalaba Estates, and he was renting a house from a lady named Donna. Well, she was letting him stay there. They said she was letting him stay there for free for 6 months, and her name was Donna. But we were trying to find out about anything else, like who was his friends. His sister's trying to get to the Gambia, so she's trying to create a GoFundMe to raise money for her to get to the Gambia because she wants an autopsy. She said Hamza had high blood pressure, but she said she believed it was under control when he got to Gambia because he told her it was. Okay. So she said, but he did have a stroke when he got there. I believe it sounded like it was 2 or 3 years ago, but he didn't have any complications from that stroke. So she doesn't believe it was the stroke that caused him to pass away. And Bossy told us last night that when the police called her to come down to the jail, I guess they wanted her to claim that it was, identified the body. They showed her a picture of him. Okay. She said he had his key in his hand was on his stomach, and he was on the ground. You know how? Have you ever been to a house in Dalaba Estates?
No, no, I don't think so.
it has like they have gates, okay? They all have like gated. And it has we call it like a courtyard here. It's like a little courtyard before you get to the gate. So it was like where the little courtyard was at, he had passed out. That's where his body was found. And she said these people who came around to Dalaba Estates to sell things had found his body. And that's how they sound the alarm. They contacted the police, and the police went through the phone and they found one of the sisters, Muslim sisters. They called her and they let her know I guess they needed 4 men to come and get the body. I'm not sure what they needed the 4 men for, but they said they needed the men to come get the body. So that's what we know so far. That's what we know so far. At first, the sister wants the autopsy because she says she wants to know what happened. She said right now she doesn't even know if it's natural. She doesn't feel like it's natural. She feels like something happened to her brother, but she doesn't know because he hasn't had an autopsy. So she's trying to get this GoFundMe together so she can get there and get this autopsy and get her brother's body taken care of, get his remains taken care of. She says she's planning on burying him in the Gambia, but that's all she knows. She wants to try to find out what happened. Who was his friends? Who did he talk to? Who all of that. So that's where we are now. That's where we are today.
Yeah. So it's like I said, there wasn't anything that was taking place around him like that we know where he was, had issues or had problems with anyone. Of course, he didn't have a YouTube channel, so it would be harder for us to know something like that. But him having the stroke, so how his condition and how he was looking would probably be consistent with that. When I saw him. Um, so I mean, in my opinion, it sounds like it's probably closer to something that was related, health related. If I, however, like we wouldn't know unless it was an autopsy. So,
That's what she said. So she's
and he's by himself too.
he was, and that was another thing. But see, I don't know when he went to Dalaba State. See, she didn't know he had a roommate at the other place. Okay, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell her that to ask around, see if we can find out more about this roommate. Uh, yes, the black man's value has been okay. This is something else they talk about. So, yes, she didn't even know he had a roommate. So she didn't know he had a roommate. She didn't know exactly who his people that he deal with. Okay, and that's what she wants to go to the Gambia to find out what happened. Pretty much what happened to her brother. So that's where we are today. So when you saw him at King's Bakery, would he just go there every day?
Well, I didn't. I don't go there that much myself. However, I can't. It may have been even more than one occasion. Maybe I saw. Yeah, I saw him maybe about a year and a half ago there when he first came, like maybe 2 years ago. I saw him at King's Bakery, and then, like I said, I seen him again about 3 months ago. So I wouldn't know how consistently he go there.
Okay,
Um,
but he was there
yeah,
both
but
times.
I know they're regulars because I've seen the guy that he was staying with at one time. I see him, I've seen him there a couple of times in and around there. So yeah, a lot of repats go there.
Hmm. So when you seen him 3 months ago, you said he did look sick to you. He didn't look like himself.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely
Didn't look
looked.
well.
Yeah, he definitely looked like he was sick. Like he had some type of something happened.
Well, and that's what she was saying that even if it was his high blood pressure, why was he holding on to his stomach? Like something was wrong with his stomach. That's what makes his sister think something is not right, and she wants an autopsy to see what she can find out. So let's see what this comment says. What did Kwesi do to
Oh,
help
oh,
any of these brothers except to gossip about after their death and his robbery? Has Kwesi's un-Muslim himself all for this gossip? Well, gossip isn't is so see, we don't know the definition of gossip. Gossip is when people it's not based on facts. It's just rumors. It's just what people think and what they feel. We're talking about factual information. We're raising awareness to what's going on in the Gambia, and then you just come on here with this comment. Is that what you do during the Ramadan? So please hold your own self accountable before you come on my channel, come to my house, and try to hold my guests accountable. Okay? Do that for me. Check yourself.
Yeah, right, right.
So, um, let me make sure we got all these comments. So that's where we are with Mr. Hamza. He seems to be to them a thing by him being in Africa. His value. Oh. So this is my question to you all. If you all don't respect what my guests have to say, why do you come on here and listen to him? If you don't want to hear what he have to say, don't come on here, okay? Don't come on. You knew who was going to be on here. I told you ahead of time. So if you don't want to hear it, if you don't appreciate anything he has to say, then don't come because this is getting a little old, okay? And we were talking about being respectful when you go to other people's houses, okay? So this is just getting a little bit old for me, okay? So you obviously don't have anything else to say. So let me go through these comments and see if you have anything to say. And then we're just going to get off of here. Okay. Then we're going to just get off of here. The interview you did with Donna Samir was one of the best live streams. You're really doing a great work for people who are thinking about relocating to Africa. Thank you so much, Mr. Navigator. I really appreciate that. Thank you so very, very much for that comment. All right, so let me see if there's anything else. We're going to leave that one up.
Yeah, yeah, Kiki. I mean, the work that you have done and the effort that you have put in to help everyone see the truth in the midst of all the lies that were coming from the same people that's up here that'll say, "Hey, what has Kwesi done for any of them?" would totally disregard all the work that they've seen. Anybody that know me, they already identify me with being a part of something that was bigger than anybody else had going on here, bigger than the Bag family, bigger than Juliet. None of them had a community. None of them was working towards helping nobody. On numerous occasions, it's already been proven that I've helped many people make the transition and come over. Many people. I purchased tickets for more than one person to come over here. You understand? But like I said, the people that are actually making these comments are actually the haters themselves
Yes,
on the false
exactly.
account, right? And so
Exactly.
we can easily point them out. And then what I find is that we really, this whole Black American culture is really about tearing each other down. And our people just don't like to see a brother doing well. Like I told everybody before I came over here, I was doing very well. Me and my children, my family there, we've traveled all over and lived a very great life in the States. A life beyond many. I'm known for somebody that has been very successful and very accomplished and done many things in my life that was very different from the background that I came from. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Where I should have been dead at the age of 20 years old, but I was able to go out and do some amazing things and help many, many people over the years and, be a source of inspiration for people that's trying to get out of, these small cities and towns and things like that. And then I brought it all the way to Africa and
Yes.
put up a lot of my own money to help other people come. And but you know, with our people, you see, we can't help our people. We can't help our people. What they'll do is they'll try to bring you down. You try to help with some nonsense, just coming, just talking nonsense about something they don't know what they're talking about, not having an understanding of different concepts and ideas and business practices, you know, just coming with ignorance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
All these people are passing.
exactly.
These people are passing away in the Gambia, and you all are coming on here with your ignorance. With your ignorance. People are being robbed, people are being unalived, and you come on here with your ignorance. All these emails I've gotten about people, I've not got one email talking about Kwesi as a scammer. Not one. Why haven't I gotten any information? How come I don't get that? You can't answer that question. I get emails about everybody. I get data about everybody who was actually scamming. I've never gotten anything. Anything. Do you all realize that's defamation? So don't come on my channel defaming anybody anymore. Okay? We're done with that. It's a wrap. Okay? Because I'm talking about people who are passing away, and I'm talking about people who are being robbed. And you want to come on here and point fingers and try to talk about somebody. Point fingers at yourselves. Look at yourselves in the mirror and talk about yourselves. Okay? Now, let's finish this so we can get off of here. Because I really appreciate you coming on here. I know it's the Ramadan. I know you got a lot going on, but you took the time to address us, and I appreciate that. Brit Repats hopefully should have been in contact with Hamza. Kwesi is not responsible for anyone and everyone. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. They just happen to be friends. That's all. They just happen to be friends. Nobody said he's responsible for anybody. We're all adults. We're responsible for ourselves. Okay, people? Yeah, I have a problem with negative concepts about Black Americans. Black Americans have been looking for acknowledgement and acceptance. And y'all must be having a topic that I don't, conversation I don't know about. Since Hamza has an advocate for blacks, was an advocate for Blacksit, where is she in all of this? I don't know. Why don't you ask Miss Blacksit? I'm not Miss Blacksit. She's not my friend. I have no clue about Miss Blacksit. But you can go to her channel and you can ask Miss Blacksit. Okay. I'm not a hater of Kwesi. I don't know him. But today he just insulted black women and black Americans were answering his comments. Okay. But that's not what the show was about. Y'all kept pushing it. Y'all kept pushing it. Y'all kept pushing it. You knew daggone well he didn't agree with you, but you kept on pushing it because you knew he was not going to agree with you, okay? So you was looking for the insult. So when you got the insult, now you want to say, oh, he insulted black women. I kept telling you we weren't talking about that, but you kept on pushing it. You kept on pushing it. And he ain't talking about all black women.
Hey Kiki, could you hear me?
All black women. Yes, I can hear you now. He can't possibly be talking about
Hey,
all black women.
hey,
Because my
hey
value is
Kiki,
worth way more than $5.
what
Maybe yours is. That's why you
could
got it.
you
Yes.
could you tell me any other culture that normalized calling their women bitches and hoes? What other
None.
culture do that?
None. None. And it's not even all the people in our culture who do that. All the people in our culture don't even talk like that. So it's the
Huh?
people who talk like that. We're talking.
You
He's
know,
talking about.
like some of our people just, you know, we 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 are the most. It's a known fact that the black woman is the most disrespected woman on the planet. That's not something that I came up with.
Well. Why I tend to believe that that happens to be true is because consider the petition. Consider the petition to get autopsies mandated for black women who pass away in the Gambia. People won't even sign the daggone petition. And you want to tell me that there's such value on Black women? There's so much value on our lives when you people won't even sign a daggone petition? Lady, get out of here. The people who are saying this, get out of here. Get out of here. If they cared so much, Black women would not be missing in the United States. They would not be missing in Africa. If they cared so much, we wouldn't be unalived in America, and we would not be unalived in Africa. And nobody won't even sign a daggone petition. But you trying to come on here and act like everybody care about the Black woman. And no, they don't. No, they don't. And I have proof. Go look at the petition. If they cared, they would simply sign the petition. So where's your proof that they care? It can't be the unalived rate. It can't be the missing rate. So where's the proof that they care? That we're worth so much. Where is the proof? Other than what y'all think and what y'all feel, because I could care less about your $5 opinions. Now I'll wait, because I'm getting ready to get off of here. So please hurry. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying? Y'all say all people, but you don't want other people to say all people. So the rules are different from other people, okay? Don't come over my house telling people the rules to my house, okay? Especially when you don't apply, but when you don't even follow those rules. All right, so y'all don't have nothing else to say? Look at this.
Oh,
Accept yourself, okay? My advice is acknowledge and accept yourself, okay? That's what we do. And the first thing we do with that self-acceptance is respect. And when you respect yourself, you respect other people. Yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do. You respect other people. And part of being respectful, you have humility. Okay? So maybe you guys should move around in the world and go places so you can see that people are different. There are some $5 women and there's some $1 million women. Okay? They're all not the same. See, you don't know policies. See, you don't know policies. America can tell this is the policy for my citizens if they pass away in your country. This is the policy that must be implemented, ma'am. It's called foreign policy. Those are not American bodies, ma'am. They're Gambians. Okay? See? Y'all didn't come out here to learn nothing. Y'all came out here to start something. Came on here to start something. That's all y'all did. That's so sad. And you trying to make me think y'all care about Black women? Y'all couldn't even sit and listen to this show about a Black man. Y'all couldn't even sit and listen to this show because another Black man was saying it. So y'all got all offended. Is it possible for a sister to get? Yes, yes, it is. I don't know about the tox screen because I don't know the condition of the body. All that's going to depend on the condition of the body and how soon she gets there. Okay. But as soon as she gets all her papers together, as soon as she gets the GoFundMe together, she's going to come back on here and tell y'all. Okay. So we can get the money, start pushing the GoFundMe.
mm-hmm.
And this is what we came to talk about. And this is what these people did. This is what they did. And you want me to believe that you people have value, that you Black women are some value to you? No, they're not. No, they're not. Bad mouth Black women is generational. In my time, women were held. They were. Yeah, they were. It's a whole cultural thing now. It's so acceptable. It's so acceptable to disrespect us. Even the police disrespect us. Everybody disrespect us. And they trying to tell me we got so much value. Who? Where?
And, I mean, we're in such denial when we have our role models are people like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and every new artist that they come out more raunchy. You know, these type of characters are 30, 40 years ago. We our grandparents talked about that. They were like, oh, I don't know where this next generation is headed. You know understand what I mean? To be up there and then be parading around and you know uh just doing it. I'm not even gonna go into it because I don't have to sit here and tell everybody the problems in our community that we see with our young men and women. Our women been over sexualized, our young men are over sexualized. They think it's cool to be a thug. They when we have uh murders and things and when within our community, people they think that's cool. They hold that's like a badge of honor. Oh, like I was actually on Dinus Amir the other night and I was just sharing, I'm from New Haven, Connecticut, and it was New Haven, Connecticut was like one of the four top, one year four of the top most dangerous cities to live in. And then you have somebody that commented up there, oh, people from New Haven are soft, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is our mentality. Everybody got to be Billy Badass. Everybody got to be better than the next person, and it's just a bunch of nonsense that has just brought utter destruction to our community because we don't have control over our identity. You know what I mean? So we damn sure don't have control over anything that's going to take place in our community. In fact, if we don't have control.
Okay, we lost Kwesi. So until then, let's go back to this question. How are criminals held accountable when caught? Okay, do you mean in Gambia? Do you mean in the United States? What do you mean? Okay, then you
Yeah,
say,
you can hear me, Kiki?
and so what? Somebody has a question. This person, Seymour 27.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Seymour 27 says, what recommendations do you have for keeping your things safe while visiting Gambia? So he's wants to know, how do you keep your things safe when you visit the Gambia? You want to answer that, and then I'll go. Quasi, did you hear me? Okay. So one way to keep your things safe is you have to stay in a safe neighborhood. One of the ways to find out if it's a safe neighborhood is you ask around. Well, this is what I did. I went when I got my house I was going to stay in both times. I looked on the reviews. I looked for the reviews about the house, and there's usually some one or two reviews about where you're going to stay. So you look what the reviews, what the people say. Safety is a big concern, so people will tell you about safety. Okay, so if they say the house is safe, then you can pretty much rely on what they're saying. Then also, hopefully you know someone in the Gambia. Hopefully you have a friend in the Gambia. Hopefully you work with some people from the Gambia. Hopefully you have some type of connection there. Okay? And if you have some type of connection there or know someone there, you can simply ask them, what type of neighborhood is this? Is this a good neighborhood? Do you recommend this neighborhood? And you can even tell them where you're staying. They may even know the place. And they can tell you whether it's safe or not. So those are the two things, well, three things that I recommend. And then once you get there, you check it out. You keep everything locked. You always keep your doors locked. And then you just pay attention. Look out the window, sit outside, pay attention to the community. Pay attention to where you live at, just like you would do here. Make sure you have a security guard. Make sure you're never there like by yourself. Make sure there's like security lights everywhere, that it's not dark. Make sure the house has locks on it, that it's really kept secure. Some houses don't have good locks on them. Things like that, just like you would here. That's what you would do there. So let's see if Quasi's coming back sometime soon. Kiki, thanks for the good. Oh, hey, thank you for last night. Thank you so much for coming on last night. I really appreciate that. That was really sweet of you. All race is bad in their community. Just because you don't hear, yeah, don't mean it ain't happening. That's so stupid. Because we don't hear about it, it ain't happening. That's a whole lie, and we haven't even looked into it. Nobody has even looked into it to determine whether it's happening or not. But we want to come on here and spread rumors because we thinking, because that's what we think and what we feel. But when we hit you with the facts, oh, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. Yeah, because I got facts that you don't care. The petition, it say it loud and clear. We could care less about them women. Sky says, please sign the petition for autopsies for questionable deaths abroad. When a questionable death happens to a person from another country, the United States, an autopsy is performed. That's all. And it's called foreign policy, people. Foreign policy. That's all. They're going to require it and they're going to fund it. That's all. It's just that simple. But they won't even sign that. But they're so offended because somebody pointed out the obvious that black women aren't worth much anymore. And because a black man pointed out the obvious, oh, we're so offended. Please stop playing with me. We didn't put the role models up there in the entertainment industry. Okay. Yeah, Megan. All of that is troublemakers are invading our space when we're having, yeah, and they, yeah, exactly. And that's why I didn't change my whole attitude like this. This is why I didn't change my whole attitude like this. Wait, Kwesi is echoing. So when you want to talk, just unmute it, okay? Yeah, because this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. They come here with this toxicity. Yes. When we are having a discussion about someone who was robbed. Someone who was robbed. And someone who's scared to even tell the police. Yes. Tell the police. But y'all want to come over here talking about some nonsense. Something that don't even matter. People deserve, yes, to know what exactly. But oh no. Kwesi said we wasn't worth $5. No society said that by the way they treat you. But you didn't notice that. Y'all didn't notice that, did you? Nope, we didn't notice that. The black women were repats. They were no longer wanted to be an American. Wait a minute, it's doing it again. Hold on.
Hey,
Hold on,
Kiki.
y'all. Yes. It's having a lot of feedback, and I don't know why. Oh no. Okay, go. I'm sorry. Go. It's still doing
Oh,
it.
I was just saying that I'm breaking up pretty bad on this in here, So I wanted to go ahead and just close out. I'll send over the video when I was speaking with Andre again.
Okay.
As soon as I get off the phone, that way you can kind of listen in and then see where he was.
Okay.
However, in this situation here, it was a situation where a brother, he was a victim. It's a romance scam. So look up the signs for romance scams, and just be aware of it. But you definitely don't want to bring anybody into your personal environment, especially you don't want to bring two people in your environment where you're outnumbered. Then you can't watch everything. It's kind of different. If you do have people over your house and they're going to your front compound gate, you go look out the window and see who they're letting in. See where you going, what you doing. We just need to be more alert.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll send that over to you. Thanks so much, Kiki, for
Thank
everything.
you. Bye
All right.
bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, so let me go through these comments and then I'm gonna get off here. Why would America pay for autopsies for people that don't want? What are you? Did you really just ask that question? I'm gonna let you answer that one. Okay. Why aren't people signing a petition? I have no clue why they're not signing the petition. I don't know because I get enough views on my videos. If everybody would just click the button and sign that petition, we'd have probably 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 signatures. But no, we don't. And then you want to get offended when somebody points out the obvious. I'm offended. I'm offended that black women are passing away in Africa and we don't even care. I'm offended. I'm offended that Adrian passed away. Hamza passed away. I'm offended. And you wouldn't even let the man talk. I'm offended that you thought that was cool to come over my house and put your feet on my furniture and disrespect my guests in my house, in front of my face. I'm offended. So you done got far too comfortable with me. Y'all done got far too comfortable. And you know who I'm talking to. You done got far too comfortable. This was ridiculous. No issues. I don't know what you're talking about. There was a BIS safety meeting, over 100 repass attending. Okay, good, good. He should have. So here you are telling him what to do. You had a problem when you thought he was telling people what to do, but now you come right back 3 or 4 comments later telling him what to do. Really? I'm about to get off here because y'all not serious. You're wasting my time. My time is valuable. Um, okay, Dwight, thank you that you just got back from Liberia yesterday. I hope you had a wonderful time in Liberia. Uh, thanks. Oh, you're more than welcome. You are more than welcome. Uh, if you disrespect yourself, then others will not respect you. Speaking derogatory of your own will not make others value you, um, or your community. You have to work together. Yeah, you have to work together as a community. Yeah, they don't do that. They don't do that. You see what happened? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I think I heard about you. Do you want to come and talk about your friend? You can come on and talk about Anja if you want to, and tell us about Liberia. That would be interesting. There was a okay. We read that. Yeah, that would be really interesting. Okay, T and K says Hamza. He believes it was a stroke or a heart attack. You think they would try calling someone to cry out for help? I don't know. You're right. Why didn't he call somebody? I don't know. That's a good idea. That's a good point, T and K. Okay, I will. Do you got videos on there about what happened? About your trip? All right. Okay. Sarah Kuda traffic light. All right. Okay. I'll check you out. As soon as I get off here, I'll check you out. Okay. Okay. These are old. These are when Kwesi was here. All races have bad community. Yeah, they do. Okay, I think we looked at this. All right, so we should be caught up with all them. Now let me get through these real quick, and then we're done. Off topic. How is the? And oh, it's going good. It should be almost done, but I had to go back and do it. And fix it. One of them, it didn't. One of the treatments wasn't working, so I had to go back and do it again. But I would recommend it for anybody. I really like them. Only thing, I lost a couple of them. You can lose them easily because you got to take them out to eat. So, but thank you for asking. I really like them. I should be on. I think I got like 10 weeks left. The petition isn't to force Gambia; it's a request. Yes, maybe they were not even. I don't even know. It's for the policy. It's for foreign policy in the United States. For that to be the policy, you know, like how the United States says, well, if you want to enter here, you got to do this. Well, your citizens got to do this. So if somebody passes away here, they get a autopsy. Okay. So, but if they're Muslim and they're from another country and they don't want it, we don't do it. You know. So, what if somebody's the same situation? They have a policy that says if this happens, let's get this done, and this is the money for it. Because it's not that the Gambia doesn't want to do them; they'll do them if they're requested. You just got to pay the fee. I know it wasn't me that disrespected Kwesi. I just repeated his comments. Okay. I would love to sign the petition, but as once stated, it is for U.S. citizens. I don't think it's that. Well, the petition is only for U.S. citizens because I can't make it. Our government can't make the UK government do anything. Our petition can't make the Caribbean government do anything. So that's the only reason why it's for U.S. women, because I'm from the U.S. If I was from the UK, it'd probably be say UK women only, because it was my country. I put it together and I put it down because that was my country, and I'm going to my government to ask my government to do something. So that's why maybe people are offended because it says U.S. women. I don't know, but it's enough U.S. women on here watching these videos to sign that petition too. It's more than a hundred and something U.S. women on here. That petition should have been signed. I should have been able to go and present it to a congressperson with a valid argument. I have no valid points now. Nobody really cares about this. Being a repat means that you are leaving your country. If black men are valuing their women, maybe they wouldn't be a repat. What about the women who are repats? There's a ton of women, more than men in the Gambia. What about them? Does that mean they don't value the black man? So they repatriated to the Gambia? Is that what that means? Why would America pay? Okay, we read that. Okay, so I think that's it. All right, y'all. I'm going to go back and continue to watch. Yeah, I don't know why they're not signing it. It's just what he said. They don't value the black woman. She has no worth to anybody for real. If she had worth, they'd be signing that petition. All right, so we read all the comments. All right, I think we got them all, y'all. So I'm gonna go back and finish watching. Oh, good. Okay, good, Sky. Cause see, the more of us do it, yes, good. That's what we're gonna. That's the plan for us all to go to our Congress people and ask them to lobby the bill. Exactly. And see, then you can share. You can also share the petition to show them here. We have a petition with 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 signatures on it, where people are concerned about this. Mr. Congressperson, you need to pay attention to this. But right now, we don't have any power. We just got, they're going to listen, of course. But we don't have any leveraging power. We don't have any weight. That petition is weight with 2, 3,000, 5,000 signatures. That's weight. But right now, we don't have any weight. We don't even have 200 signatures. So all we now is just got, please feel sorry for us. We're going out with our hand, begging with our hand, open again. Please feel sorry for us. Anyone from the UK here listening know if any petition is drafted. I don't know. But if they want it, but you know what? This person who on here, you can do it. If y'all have something like change.org, what you can, and you can even just copy and paste mine, but change your name as the person who's behind the petition. Okay? That's all you got to do. Whoever is on here and want to do it, please go and copy and paste mine. Change it a little bit because I said how I, travel to the United States. European women, if you want to do it, take it to your person. Take it, copy it, change it to fit who you are, and you push it to your Congress people. Whoever. It is not just for us. It's for whoever. So you can take it and you can draft it and change it. If you need me to help you, if you want me to read over it, if you want to say, Kiki, look over this, see if this sound right, I will gladly do that. I will gladly do that. But the UK people need one too, because I told y'all about the message that I seen in that group. I told you about that. And now look, the last two stories, who were they were about? UK citizens, black UK people. And y'all want to come on my channel playing with me. So any UK person, please, if you can do it, if y'all have something like change.org, please let me know. And you can just copy it, paste it. I'll help you edit it so it sounds like your story, and we can go with it. And we can go with it. We can even change it and let them know that this is happening to women in the UK. This is to people. We even need to change it to say people and not just women. It needs to be people. Yeah. So yeah, we need to get this done. All right, y'all. So that's all I have. Let me make sure I ain't got no more comments. Because I am tired. Yes, it really would. It would be nice if we presented it to all the embassies in the Gambia and let them know we're not taking this. We come here to relax. We come here to have fun. We're not going to just lay here and let our citizens be unalived anymore, and you all act like you don't know what's going on, because you all know what's going on. Those ambassadors are appointed. They know that. But yes, they need to see the petition so they know we're serious. Because Congress is over their head, people. It's over there. So basically, we're going over their head. We're going over their head. Because enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And we need to present them to all the embassies. Yeah. So she said, this person says, write the local council where you live. But is there like something like a petition where an online petition like we have here? That's what we're looking for. See if you can find a version of change.org for the UK so we can put it on there. And then I can put that one on my channel, both of them. And we can get both of them going. Because that's the only reason I didn't include them, because they're going to look at me like, what, lady? We can't do anything about UK citizens. So before we even had that conversation, I didn't put them in there because I knew that's how the conversation was going to go left. And believe it, some people look for ways to turn the conversation left. They deliberately do that. Deliberately. All right, y'all. That's all I got. That's all I got. So let's try to get this petition going from the UK for UK people, okay? Let's please try to do that because they need one also. So that's all I have. Thank you again for joining me tonight, this afternoon, this evening, or whatever it is. But I am completely exhausted. So y'all will see me soon because remember, this is spring break week. And I'm going to go watch I Am Mara. Honey, it's cracking me up. It's cracking me up. It's confusing me. It's leaving me with questions. I'm wondering if he's using witchcraft. And I'm wondering if the witchcraft is being backfired on him. This is like he said he was gonna make a reality show. Yeah, I feel like I'm watching I feel like I'm watching a Nollywood movie. Do y'all hear me? The way the people is just coming here and giving this man money. Just giving this man 32 years old. He's worth a net value of $20 million. $20 million. People in their 50s and 60s going there giving this man money after money, big money, buying land, big money. And guess what? Coming back home and just not. Some of them don't even make it back home. Yeah. Some of them just don't wake up there. Go to sleep and just don't wake up. They got malaria going around like crazy. The horses is passing away. And guess what? And last night they had a rat infestation. I kid y'all not. But it was so funny. I never heard a grown man scream a rat. An African man? I ain't never seen an African man run from a rat. Last night I was laughing so hard. I watched that live twice. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a good story about him because I don't know what's going on there, and I'm still trying to figure it out. The matter of who pays for the autopsy can be argued later. In Jamaica, they do one, and the family pays when they get. Oh, do they? See, not here. I think we got a tax for it though. I think there's some kind of tax that we pay that covers that. You know, but the U.S. government can fund that. They can fund that. It's not that much. It's not even $1,000. It's not even $500. Oh, thank you. Thank you all for watching. All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to look too, everybody. I'm going to see if I can find something. Okay. And if I can find it, I'm going to list it on my community page. But I need you guys to do it because I'm sure it has to be a UK citizen. All right. But again, you can just copy and paste what I got. Okay, everybody. That's all I have for now. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for staying on here for 2 hours with me. And I will see you this week coming up. And like I said, we're going to talk about JT and we're going to talk about I Am Mara. I hope I'm saying his name right. I think his name is Frederick. We're going to talk about Frederick. Yeah. And some other things, of course. But that's all I have tonight. All right. I love y'all. And I will see y'all later. Y'all have a good evening.